Now, interesting development from last week. The U.S. National Toxicology Program in the National Institutes of Health said that bisphenol A, a common chemical used in making plastics, plastic products and so on, could cause cancers and tumors. And we had the Canadian government react first by labeling BPA a dangerous substance. So I think there'll be moves to ban it eventually. How will this affect a company like Siemens? Because your products and your services stretch a very wide range. Lots of consumers will be affected by your products, and I think along the chain, BPA will be part of your product mix. Will it be something for your company to look at in the near future?
It is true that bisphenol A is considered as causing some harm to the human body. This is also in discussion in Europe, so the European Commission also is doing something with respect to these hazards. But from a company point of view of Siemens, bisphenol A is not directly in our components. So we are using polycarbonate, and to produce polycarbonate, the chemical industry uses bisphenol A. But in a given CD or even in a given carbon polynate bottle for babies, there you cannot find any longer any bisphenol A.
In Europe?
No. The process itself ensures that by the chemical reaction, bisphenol A is converted into polycarbon, and the polycarbon material is not that hazard. Again, it's used for bottles for baby milk. So there must be some attention on that to avoid that already babies might be affected by that. And the second application where Siemens has bisphenol A not in its product directly, it's a flame retardant substance. It's tetrabrom bisphenol A. It's TD.
Very long word, eh?
TBBDA.
Yeah.
And again, in this case, the bisphenol A is converted into another chemical and is not directly in our products.
In the contact of consumers.
Even in the contact of consumers.
Right.
It's in the resin of our platines within a component within these flame retardant. But this flame retardant is not considered as a hazardous material. In addition to that, we have an internal guideline available where we very serious are monitoring which hazards are coming with which substances, and we have programs available to phase out those hazardous substances in our products much more in advance before legislation is asking for that. So again, we are taking that serious.
So you're saying that BPA is not present in any of Siemens end user products?
This I can state.
Right. And this was taken long ago before it became widely known that
yes.
it caused cancer?
Yes.
Great. One last question. In your role as somebody who looks after the company's environmental policy, and you have to think a lot of big picture issues. Today, this last 3 to 4 months, the world is facing a whole slew of crises. It's unprecedented. You have credit, you have, as I mentioned earlier, you have credit, you have food, you have energy, you've got geopolitical problems all the time. Do you think at some point this idea of perpetual economic growth could be at an end? As you know, we're seeing more and more advocates that tell us that this pursuit of perpetual growth is not sustainable. What do you have to say to that? Somebody who's in the sustainable business, if I may call it that.
What we learn from the discussion with especially the Chinese situation is that we should openly discuss our mistakes which we made in Europe in earlier days, and we have to avoid that these mistakes will happen again in countries like India and China, and we have to I will not say negotiate, but we have deeply to discuss with them what would be their best solutions, and so far there are some good indications that the Chinese government already also became aware about their environmental footprint, and they are looking for solutions how to minimize their carbon footprint or their environmental footprint as well. I think the Western industry should support all approaches of these developing countries to reduce their environmental footprint as far and as fast as possible. And I'm sure that also China will achieve these industry growth without increasing the energy consumption, not tomorrow, but maybe in 5 to 10 years.
But do we have enough time? That's why the question of sustainability.
If I take the reports from the IPCC series, there is still some time to react on that. The climate change is unavoidable. It's already happening, but we have to mitigate that. And if all together, the government, the society, the industry are working jointly together in this area, I think that we, until 2020, what is considered as one of the serious years where latest we have to had implemented something, that at that time we are able to see the progress of implementation of energy efficient and climate efficient technologies.
2020 is a very long time away.
I know.
What about looking at 2009, where if this food and oil crisis continues to worsen, will we even have time to deal with the climate crisis? I go back to my original question for you then.
It's not true that we will start in 1 or 2 years. We already started with energy efficiency solutions since several years, and you cannot change not a society, not a given political area. Also, you cannot change industrial technology processes from 1 second to the next. So these changes, they definitely need some time. Not only to convince the people to do that, but as the money in your pocket is available only one time, you have to set priorities. And by setting priorities, you have to set up a master plan or a roadmap. And I'm sure, I'm very confident that all measures that have to be undertaken for mitigating climate change will be integral part of all these roadmaps and master plans. But we have to look in these roadmaps whether everyone is handling this issue carefully.
Well, with that, Dr. Bloch, thank you for your time.
Thank you as well.
Okay.